Hello. I want to talk to you about certain thoughts that is there in my mind, and this is pretty random. Consider that you are also reacting, responding to it. I am going to post it on YouTube. Uh, yeah. Wanted to hear from you and understand from you how much sense am I making when I'm talking about everybody in the corporate hears the terms like employee experience, employee listening. And we always heard that there was something called employer satisfaction survey, right? The Google 12 questions, sorry, Gallup 12 questions, G12, and they were very important, and companies were very happy doing that, right? And it's no doubt about them getting certain kind of insights for the organization. I don't know whether they acted on it, but it was a kind of a ritual which was there in most of the organizations, like the balance scorecard everybody wanted to do, and those kind of things you may have heard. So DEIB is one of those things. ESG is the new format, more so on the organization level, but of course getting impacted by employees' choices and preferences in the industry that deserve they choose the ESG too. And then DEIB, of course, is another one. But employee experience remains important. Employee experience remains important, especially for companies who really want to keep learning from their employees and getting feedback and wanted to have a dialogue. When you look at the companies that really want to listen to people and understand what's going on in their mind against various tasks, objectives, or how company is functioning, operating, how people are communicating with each other, what decisions are organizations making, impacting people, and how are people reacting to it, or those kind of things. So this is very important. If employees are not really engaged, one thing is very important that they are certainly disengaged, as they say. So I think when we talk about employee listening, employee experiences, or as Perceptics or some other organizations which are highly research based, 10, 15, 20 years of data that they have doing these kind of surveys in various organizations, various metrics and models they have tested. Uh, uh, you know, I think it becomes very important for companies to understand that is employer branding something which is really solving some problem of sustainability of talent supply and talent's contributions to the success of the organization. Why would they? So the clear understanding that I get is that whatever mechanism of the process you have to collect the data information, how often you do it, which all sources, passive, direct, or electronic mediums, you're nudging them at the right time, you're nudging them right in the event of things like, if I give you an example, Mozilla fired, I think, 250 people, and they shut down their across the globe. I think in many countries, U.S., Canada, Europe, Australia included. Uh, they fired, and this is mostly affecting their browser, which is Firefox, and they shut down their Type A office completely for that matter. But immediately after that, they had the courage to go to Glassdoor and carry out a survey. So if you want to show you what exactly they were doing, they had the courage and they wanted to know what exactly it is. Before the survey, their Glassdoor rating was 4.2, and then now you check what exactly happened after that, right? So let me tell you first exactly what it is showing. 4.2 out of 5 it is showing, right? Mozilla has. And there's an organization which has built this product. So Mozilla 4.2, right? And look at the kind of 93%. So here if you see this, so here if you see this, this is this like 72% people approve of the CEO, Michelle Becker. 93% would recommend their friends to, which is like very interesting. But at the same time, if I take you to this page where they had fired Mozilla layoff and Glassdoor, August, to 2020, the later people impacting this, and then they went to Glassdoor, and then they did this survey, right? Your 93% would recommend to the friends, 72% is still approve of for the CEO, Michelle Baker. And this was typically for this employee review after layoff, about layoff. And still the rating remained like this. There was some 27 total reviews. Of course, it talks about negative, positive, and everything put together for that matter, but it's still 37%, which is the highest percentage of people, in 24%. So, it is like tapering as you see from here for some reason. So, largely the people were still giving a thumbs up to the organization. This is what it looks like. Of course, there are positive and negative that you can check. Of course, immediate reaction would be that they will be telling that senior leadership sucks, absolutely disastrous management, and those kind of things you see because there is no one but you see the management and the senior leadership responsible for this very unpalatable decision that they have made. But now talking about all this, would you do you think that Twitter, right, who had done a series of layoffs, right? Let me just take you to the news where they had a series of layoffs, right? So it is in my one of my, I think it is somewhere I have kept it. I guess it is in this page, I guess, or maybe I even sorry. I'm so sorry. So I'm just taking it to the right page. Okay, all right. So no choice, says Musk. Worldwide Twitter layoff, right? This was in November sometime. And then you see here again in February 23, right? Elon Musk, how much was time there? Initially, they had told that they had sacked the complete marketing department. India, they sacked everyone out of 275 or 400 total numbers, and then there was hardly 20-25% people who were left out in India to serve. Elon Musk fires again, despite the promise that he will not. But do you think it really impacts Twitter employer brand? So let's go and check what exactly. You see here, Mozilla is an engaged employer, right? So all the data information, it looks like the page is very sanitized. Let's go and search for employer. So who are we searching? We are searching Twitter, right? Twitter. Okay. Now let's go and see what exactly we find here. So Twitter. All right. How many employees do they have? So this is not an engaged employer, right? You see here. Total rating is 3.2. It tells you about the information which is more or less correct. And then when you go here on the reviews, 2.40 reviews are there. Here the rating is 3.2 and only 36% recommend. While remember Mozilla, 92% of the people recommend it. Would say and recommend this organized Mozilla to their friends that they knew of. Then Linda Yaccarino is the CEO of this. Took over, then he was the CEO, then and now 27% approve of the CEO, right? So this is the current situation up there, right? There are a good number of reviews. Now here 2.4 out of this rating, whatever they were, right? They have given the metrics. Here again, the situation remains like this. Still, the 5-star is the highest, right? Uh, and they don't own the page, so they don't care about it. 3.2 is not really the rating that is good for any respectable organization. But it is not bad either. But here is how it is. So my understanding about employer branding effort is, of course, to keep talking about um, what it is to work for an organization, how prestigious it can be, how rewarding it is, how inspirational our leaders, how clients and customers talk about them, how their alumni really talk about that organization, what other agencies and organizations which work in tandem with them, uh, have been reviewing them over a period of time, what kind of pull they have in the campus recruitment. Those people especially want to start their career, how do they perceive this organization as a dream place to work for, etc. So these are the things, and all these things can happen. Of course, then there is a truth to it because when we are flooded with the media information, I think people have a lot of ways, and Glassdoor being one of the very transparent mediums to understand. In India, you will find Indeed also shows up this data. And there are others too, right, who are capturing this information. And this has become important for companies to keep the buzz into the market about them, that they're an organization uh, to look forward to in terms of finding your next employment opportunity. So my understanding is that whatever you talk about the employer branding, of course, it takes a lot to remain in the news and keep talking. Uh, Distinctly talking and being consistent about what exactly is the organization all about, rather than picking the fancy words and terms and events which have temporary effect, especially with the relations to whether it is a hybrid workplace or DIB, ESG, or many other things, right? If you have a clear-cut strategy about those things, they also matter, right? Your opinion about those things which are impacting the work life, which are affecting the environment, ecosystem, and other things. But more important is the fact that it is important to tell about what exactly is the workplace like, right? What exactly people do there, uh, what it is to what it is like to work there. How do you feel content and happy? What kind of learning opportunities you have and growth opportunities you have. And those things must be talked in employee speak or the leadership speak. If they have to tell about their leadership in certain areas of business practices, consulting, product, or whatever they are into, then certainly it has to be featured through their leaders interviews and those rankings and ratings and Gartners and Forrester and other Everest Research and others have to show this. And in terms of their public presence, for that matter, all these events, seminars, symposiums, which are being done by industry-leading bodies, their leaders must be visible there and must be proudly presenting about companies' success and their plan and future and what they care about. So I think these are some of those things. In any employer branding that the branding company would help doing is to showcase it to the people what the story is of the organization through various mouthpieces which sound credible, authentic, realistic, inspiring, promising, broadly, right? Promise is a big word here in employer branding, that you are making a promise to the people uh, while at the same time, right? If you have checked the book of Brian Adams, right, which talks about two things. It talks about pulling and then dispelling, right? So it says that not exactly should not be a billboard kind of thing, not only goody goody things about the organization and making and looking feel good, people hiving in the organization, right? Beautiful cafeteria kind of office with fancy stuff all around. People are cycling, their pets are around them, they're sipping cappuccinos, and bean bags and food tables and pool tables and curated lunch and manicured, botanical grounds available to them to relax and bask in the sun, sort of things, right? Uh, People do understand what reality is and what marketing is. So when it is employer branding, uh, it has to understand those elements of marketing which can go against the grain of the reality of branding. So authenticity, promise, and of course, telling the same time of attracting a few and dispelling many others, as Brian Adams' book says. This is very important to be very, very authentic. How exactly you're going to do this? This certainly is a plan. From career page to wherever you're being published, your PR, your marketing is social media marketing, recruiting, marketing department, what exactly they do. They constantly do this promise and keep talking to the audience outside of the organization, involving the people inside the organization when it is employees speak, and getting those information and news about company success, reputation, their ranking, their features, and the industry accolades, whatever they get for their product services. They must be going on into the audience, because when you're talking about hiring, I think the employer branding really helps, and also in retention for that matter, where people choose you. And your idea is to attract the best of the talent who has, and the best of the talent really has certainly other choices than they have from you, and that makes the job difficult, and therefore employer branding can bring in these kind of impact over a period of time. And certainly, the stronger the brand, Paul, the stronger is the attraction for the employer to attract the best of the talent and retain them if those promises are being consistently delivered post employment offer opportunities when they are on board with the organizations. So, this is what I think. I want to understand from you what exactly you see your company doing, and what exactly do you think your company could do further to strengthen it. What are those things which you see your company is doing, and probably maybe going against the branding uh, ingenuity for that matter, and authenticity for that matter, uh, or what other companies you see are doing, which are great practices to highlight? Do tell us in the comment below. Thank you.